Welcome to the GoToWebinar Quick Start tutorial. This brief video shows you how to quickly schedule and start a webinar and how to use the basic control panel features of GoToWebinar. After the installation process is complete, GoToWebinar shortcuts are easily accessible from the GoToWebinar icon on the desktop or in the system tray, usually located on the lower right-hand corner of your desktop. Double-click the icon on your desktop and you can start a GoToWebinar session instantly by selecting Webinar Now or Schedule a Webinar for Later. Click to schedule a webinar, and once the website is launched, click on Schedule a Webinar. Enter a title, description, as well as a date and time for your webinar. Confirm your time zone, and select if this webinar will recur or not. Now it's time to set the details for your webinar. First, select your audio options. You can opt to use VoIP only, mic and speakers, telephone only, or both. This is a best practice as it allows the organizer and attendees to choose how they'd like to join the audio portion. If you have purchased a toll-free audio account with Citrix, you can add localized toll-free numbers here by clicking Edit. The next step is to specify co-organizers and panelists for your webinar. A co-organizer can start a meeting also and has all the rights as the main organizer. A panelist is an individual that you will invite as a staff member that helps you with the success of your webinar. The most common role for a panelist is that of a keynote speaker or a guest speaker during the webinar. When you are satisfied with the basics of your webinar, you can opt to require a webinar password and then select Save and Continue. Now you will be at the Branding and Themes section. Here you can choose to add a logo to your invitation, as well as add a custom image for the theme you select to use. The webinar waiting room is what attendees will see before your event begins. Here they will see your uploaded logos and images. You have the option to adjust the viewer color, and you can also add pictures and information about organizers and presenters. If you would like, you are able to add a message that attendees will see when they arrive at the webinar. You can preview your invitation theme or the waiting room, and then select Save and Continue. This final section regards your registration options. Registrants will need to at least enter their name and email. However, you can choose to add other fields, either required or not, as well as create your own custom registration questions. All of this registration information is captured for on-demand reporting. Finally, you can select whether registrants receive their registration confirmation automatically after they sign up or upon approval. This second option requires the organizer to log in periodically and approve registrants. You also have the option to redirect registrants to a URL after registering. When everything is complete to your liking, click Save and email me the invitation. If you are the webinar organizer or are invited as a co-organizer, you will receive an email which you can edit as you like and forward out to your potential attendees. You will see your scheduled webinar in the My Webinars section. There are a few optional items you can adjust under the Select Setting drop-down. Polls can be created that can be opened during your webinar from the control panel. Surveys are set up in a similar fashion, and you can choose if the survey goes out to attendees after they exit the webinar or in a follow-up email. Email notifications allow you to view invitations, adjust confirmation emails, and adjust when reminder and follow-up emails go out. Don't forget to save changes if you add or adjust these items. When you're ready to start your webinar, you can start it from any computer by logging into your account, finding the webinar you're ready to begin, and clicking on the Start button. Once you start your webinar, this is the control panel which has all the tools and features you need to present and manage a webinar. When your webinar has launched, all the staff members will be placed in a sub-conference. This allows for the staff members to discuss last-minute logistics before the webinar begins. During this time, attendees will not hear the staff members speak. When you're ready for the audience members to hear you, click Start Broadcast. The screen sharing option resembles a video player. Simply click the play button and your screen will be shown to the audience. You also have the option to pause or stop screen sharing. You can also change the presenter, which allows anyone in the meeting to show their screen, or by selecting Give Keyboard and Mouse, let another attendee take control of your computer. The control panel also contains a host of information and controls for your webinar. The dashboard provides you an overview of the webinar. The audience view provides you with a thumbnail that allows you to see what the audience members are viewing. The attendee list allows you to see all of the staff as well as the attendees who have joined the webinar. In addition, you can manage your audio through the attendee list. All attendees will be muted by default in a GoToWebinar session. If you would like to allow an attendee to speak, click on the microphone icon or click the telephone icon in green. The audio section allows you to toggle between using telephone or microphone and speakers. Click Polls to launch a poll that you've already created. Choose the poll that you would like to launch from the drop-down list, then select Launch. This will open the poll for all of your attendees. Once your audience members have selected their answer, click Close to close the poll. To share the polling results, click on the Share button. When you're done with the poll, remember to hide the polling results. If you would like to create a poll during the webinar, click Manage Polls. The Questions pane allows you to see all of the questions that are submitted by your attendees. To make questions easier to view, you can detach the question pane or any other pane by clicking on the top of the pane you would like to undock. This will allow you to expand the individual pane so that you can see the individual questions easier. To respond to a question, select the question you would like to answer, then type the response. You have the option to send the answer privately to the individual that asked it, or you can send the answer to the entire audience. This will include the question that was asked and the answer. The chat window allows you to send messages to the entire audience, to an individual, or a staff member. Thank you for viewing this GoToWebinar Quick Start. We hope this video helps you get started with harnessing the power of GoToWebinar. You can view this tutorial and many others at our product support site at support.citrixonline.com.